Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 71740, Jay's Electro Mech from the Ninjago Legacy theme. This set contains 106 pieces, 2 minifigures, and retails for $19.99 in the US. This is an all-new set coming in March 2021, which was sent to me early by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Before I get started, I'd just like to ask you guys to please like the video and subscribe if you're new. I'm doing early reviews of all 5 of the new March 2021 Ninjago sets, as well as some other really cool stuff coming soon. So by liking and subscribing, you'll help support me and the channel, and you'll see those videos as soon as they release. But with all that being said, let's get on to the review. So here it is, the infamous Electro Mech. When this guy was revealed, it stirred up a lot of controversy. People were really disappointed that this was a 4+ set and not a full-sized remake of the Electro Mech. And I get that. Listen, if you really like Jay or you really like the Electro Mech, it was disappointing to hear that this wasn't getting a full-sized remake. But I think the hate for this guy might have been a little unwarranted, because yeah, it's a 4+ set, it's going to be more basic than your average set. I actually kind of like this, unironically. This is a fairly decent size. I really like this huge big body piece right here. I assume this is new for this set. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure this is new. As well as these brand new leg pieces. It's a fairly substantial size, made of very few parts, and I think very young kids would definitely really like this. But even if you're an older fan, well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you get this set. If you did, you could very easily modify this to be something a little more. Because the main issues with this is this big open gap right here, right? There's nothing to like close Jay into the mech. It's got these gaps in the arms right here. And this like lower hip area doesn't look amazing, but the main torso area and these legs are fairly decent. The arms are on mini ball joints, so they have a fairly wide range of motion. You can move them up, you can move them down, you can move them forward, you can move them back. You can move them pretty much any way you like. And I think for kids, it's nice to just have a wide range of motion. The right arm is holding like a golden blade, and the left arm has a spinning silver blade. It's a fun bit of variety just to mix up the way you play. I really like these two tiles right here. These are printed pieces. One of these comes in the Season 14 sets on Zane's Catamaran from the Jungle Dragon, but you get a total of 4 of them here. 2 up here and 1 in each leg. It's always nice to get printed parts instead of stickers, and these look quite good and I think are useful outside the context of this vehicle. Moving down to the legs, here's one of my main issues with this set. The lower leg area and the upper torso area aren't connected together very well. They use a single Technic pin, but it's very easy for it to fall out. The upper part is just slid onto a Technic pin, but it doesn't click in place in any way, meaning it's very easy for it to come off. So if I just push it up like this, it can detach just like that. You can see the Technic pin right there, and the Technic hole in the bottom of the upper torso piece. And those two connect to give us the overall mech. Something like this usually wouldn't bother me all too much, but this is a 4+ set. It's meant to be played with by very young kids who are prone to break things. So I think they should aim to make this a little bit sturdier, because I guarantee any 4-year-old playing with this will almost definitely break it at some point. The whole point of 4+ sets in my eyes is to be easy to build and easy to play with, and this sort of loses that easy to play with aspect, which I don't like. But that's just one flaw in an otherwise fairly decent build. I really like the molded robot legs. I'd be curious to see these used on something bigger or something in a regular system set that isn't 4+. They connect using the rigid Technic pin joints, and can be rotated forward and back. Disconnected, there's what this piece looks like on the inside. You can see it uses the same pin as the typical Technic joints, but obviously it's on an all-new leg piece. The back of the Electro Mech's fairly simple. It's got one Technic hole right there, and it's got 2 big golden blades going up. Obviously it's very basic from the back, but somehow manages to look better than a lot of full system mechs, because this large flat piece looks kind of good from the back. It looks complete. It doesn't have a ton of open anti-studs. Obviously there's a few down here, but this entire area looks pretty good. But that's about all I got to say in terms of the Electro Mech itself. I know it got a lot of hate, but I don't think it's that bad. It's a decent size and very obviously meant for young kids. But for what it is, it's a fairly decent mech for a 4+ set. But that's not the only thing included, so let's move on to the other builds. The other main build in this set is this little Anaconda car for Eyezor. This is a simple, really cute, really fun build. 4+ always does a lot of printed pieces, and there's a really cool one here. You get 2 printed wooden planks right here. I don't believe they're new, but they're fairly uncommon. I don't think I've ever gotten them before, so I appreciate them being included here. They're nice to use in mocks or whatnot. It's got these big gray wheels with these purple plates on top of them, and then there's a bone on each side of the vehicle. On the top of the car, there's this large spring-loaded shooter with 4 studs for Eyezor to sit, which has this big red button in the back, and if you push down on it, the large bullet will shoot out. If you want, you can have Eyezor try to take out the Electro Mech with this. Personally, I don't really understand including these large spring-loaded shooters in 4+ sets, because while they're definitely really cool pieces and I like them, they shoot out with a fair bit of force, and I could see kids getting hurt by this, so I'm surprised they include this. They're definitely a fun piece though, and I enjoy getting it. And then there's 2 other very little side builds in this set. We have this little rock right here with a spider climbing on it, and then this little green piece right here with a scorpion climbing on it. These are both totally unnecessary and don't really represent anything, but I absolutely love that they're included. I remember as a very young kid just loving getting different animal pieces in LEGO. There wasn't a ton back then. There was spiders and bats, but I absolutely adored collecting them. So if a set like this existed that just came with a spider and a scorpion completely randomly, I would have been so happy to get them. So while they seem a bit silly to me to be included nowadays, I do appreciate that they're there. Here are the two minifigures included in the set. We have Legacy 2J and we have Eyezor. Legacy 2J isn't completely accurate. He has a full mask instead of a half mask. I assume this is because 4+ sets usually don't include small pieces because they don't want kids choking on them, and I assume the half mask would be considered too small of a piece. However, as this guy is, he actually kind of works, because in the show, when Jay piloted the Electro Mech, he was in a Zukin suit, which does include a full mask. So I guess you could view this as Legacy Zukin Jay instead of Legacy Tournament Jay if you wanted. But in reality, it was just done so that this figure could be included in a 4+ set. The figure itself, though, is good. Legacy 2J in his normal form is one of my favorite minifigures of all time. The full hood definitely makes it weaker than having the half mask, but I think it works alright, and the torso and legs are still really nice. Eyezor is a really fun figure, and I think a kid would really like it. The Mohawk is a really fun piece. I remember when I got my first Mohawk piece as a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing. He's got a really creepy and fun face print, a really nice looking torso print, and I like the legs too. He also has a pretty standard, larger bad guy sword. Jay, interestingly, doesn't come with a weapon, which I don't like. Since there's not a ton of 4+ sets, I don't imagine a lot of kids collecting 4+ sets just have a bunch of weapons lying around. And I know as a kid I definitely would have appreciated having a weapon for the ninja. I know obviously Jay has his mech, but just including nunchucks or even just a sword for Jay would have been nice. There's Jay with the hood removed and Eyezor with his mohawk removed. You can better look at Jay's face print. It's the same standard face print he's had since the movie. And a close look at his torso print. Again, it's very good. I just wish he had the half mask or at least his hair here. And then turning these two around, you can see their back torso prints as well as Jay's alternate face. I really like the back torso print on Eyezor. I love that little circle right there with the runes around it and a little anaconda in the middle sticking its tongue out. It's a pretty cool design and nice reimagining of this character in Legacy form. So, as a whole, would I recommend this set? My answer to this one would be, it depends. For the target audience of the set, like kids ages 4, 5, 6, I think this is a pretty good one to get. This is the 4th Ninjago 4+ set I've gotten, and it's definitely my second favorite one. And as such, I think it is a good set for kids that age. However, if you're like me and you're an older fan, do I recommend picking this up? Probably not, but I wouldn't count it out. It's not a set like the 4+ Cole Speeder card from Prime Empire where I was like, yeah, this set's good even if you're not in the target age demographic. This set is definitely made for a younger audience, however, it's still alright if you're not in that audience with some customization. There's definitely far better sets out there to get, but if you see this one on sale or something, I wouldn't count it out. Because there's definitely some interesting pieces used, and with some customizing, you can actually make this look quite good, I bet. And as a whole, I think this is one of the better 4+ sets. As I said, it's not as good as Cole's Speeder car, but I think it's better than the Stormfighter battle and far better than Kai's Fire Dragon. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As I said at the beginning of this video, I would ask that you guys please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm doing reviews of all 5 of the new March 2021 Ninjago sets. And by liking the video and subscribing to the channel, you really help support me and the channel. And I've got more reviews of other really cool stuff coming soon, so by subscribing, you'll see those as soon as they come out. But as for this video, I think that's about all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!